So we know building a startup is hard, but what about building a media company? We'd like to introduce Ameer, the founder of Muslim. You've probably seen the @Muslim on Instagram before. In just a few years, he's built a giant media news company, and he's going to share exactly how he did it. Ameer, come to the stage.
Hey, assalamualaikum everybody. San Francisco, mashallah. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much to the Alif team and Omar for the invitation. It's so beautiful to see a room full of innovators, people that want to make change for the Muslim community. Alhamdulillah. So today I'm going to share with you guys about how Muslim came to be and the lessons I learned along the way. And inshallah, this could lead to inspiration for whatever product or whatever platform you guys are building. So one thing that has been on my mind leading up to this event was this idea of success, you know? For me, I'm a media company. I'm not in the VC, I'm not in the tech, I'm not in the startup scene. So when I'm in spaces like this, I feel kind of isolated in a way because success looks entirely different for me in the media space. Success looks different to everybody in this room. How many people here are building a product to serve the Muslim community with a show of hands? MashaAllah. And I want this question to kind of follow you. What does success look like for you? What does success look like for the space and the product you're trying to build? What does that look like in whatever you're trying to achieve? So to me, success isn't that you funded successfully 10 billion in a seed round. Success to me looks like you're achieving your mission. You're accomplishing the goals that you set out from the platform and the product that you're building. So when it came to Muslim, when I was building Muslim, I was a college student and I was studying journalism. And I was actually studying journalism and archaeology, fun facts. And when I was studying journalism, my beat was covering Muslim news. But as I kept on covering and writing stories about the Muslim community, something came to my mind and I was like, you know, there's a greater issue here. There's a greater problem here. I'm writing articles about the Muslim community. I'm trying to get attention on all these different issues that are impacting the Muslim community, but I feel like it's falling flat. What is the greater issue here? So for me, I found these problems, right? And I kind of consolidated them into one thing as we don't have a space of our own in media. I tried my best to look for a mainstream media publication, a news site, so I can reach the Muslim audience, because I wanted the Muslim audience to be aware of Muslim stories that are impacting and affecting them. And as a junior in college, it came to me, it clicked. It was like a tunnel vision moment. I was like, okay, I couldn't find a mainstream news outlet or publication that served Muslims and covered exclusively Muslim stories. So I want to start that. I want to build that. So the solution came naturally that we need to create a platform. We need to create a news outlet. We need to create a media publication. We need to create a space for people to receive news that is affecting them. And to me, it was to create Muslim. A lot of people here are trying to solve problems, whether it's solving problems of like the Muslim community, the Ummah. To me, I was like, okay, before I go on this venture of figuring out, because I'm a journalism student, I have no idea how the heck to build a company or business or strategy. I just have this vision, and I'm someone that is really into journalism and media, and I want this to come to life. So I told myself, what does a successful media publication looks like? What does it look like? And to my surprise, I couldn't find any mainstream media publications, of course. There is no blueprint for me to follow, except for one. There's this The first ever media publication in the United States was called Muhammad Speaks. And it was created during the Nation of Islam by Malcolm X. And this publication was exclusively print. And it played such a pivotal role in unifying not just the Muslim community, the Black community, the indigenous community, Latinos. It intersected so many disadvantaged minorities in America during the civil rights time. And so I was looking at, I'm also I studied archaeology, and my focus for archaeology was actually archiving. So I was like, I need to find Muhammad Speaks publications, and I need to study what they did that was so successful. And I went to Boston, and they have the biggest archive there in the Boston Library. You should check it out. It's a 35 millimeter film. You scan it. So I have a lot of scans in here that I want to show you. But I want to talk about how impactful Muhammad Speaks was, right? Because Muhammad Speaks was only print, but it had a circulation of 2 million people monthly. There was no social media in the 60s and 70s. 2 million monthly across the entire US, even international, to reach people internationally. And one story that I love to share was when Muhammad Ali was tried for refusing to be drafted for the Vietnam War. Muhammad Speaks covered and said, Muhammad Ali about to be tried for, refusing drafts. And it circulated all over that when the trial occurred, over 10,000 people lined up outside of the trial to demand justice for Muhammad Ali. And it was because they were aware of it through Muhammad Speaks. This is why Muslim media is so crucial and important. So many people here keep on saying, we're one ummah this, one ummah that. But how can we come together? So many people have amazing visionary ideas of wanting to unite the ummah, creating spaces and platforms like this. And to me, when I see media, this is the unifying factor. When we have media, we can come together. How are we supposed to come together when we're not informed on what's affecting our Muslim brothers and sisters across the world? Just some scans I wanted to share with you guys as well. I scanned these actually from 35 millimeter film from the archive in Boston. And look how crucial of a time this was. Muhammad Speaks no longer exists, right? It dissolved after the Nation of Islam and then became a dispute whether to continue or not, and kind of just dissolved. It still exists actually. It's called the Muslim Journal now, but it's a local level in New Jersey. But here I scanned this, right? I found these in America. With Palestinians, they had a whole entire column on Muhammad Speaks just about Palestine. Here's the excerpt that I screened from the newspaper, right? U.S. increases weapons flow to Israeli warlords. Well, okay, tell me if CNN or New York Times would ever publish a headline like this. No! But because this was a newspaper for the people, they're freely to talk about these type of issues because they affected all the communities that were reading and dependent on this newspaper. So I wanted to implement a model similar to this for the Muslim community, because to me, I'm trying to figure out the blueprint here. Because I'm going into this solo, I don't know how to build a business. I don't know what a successful Muslim media company looks like, but I can go back to history to know that this newspaper was so important for the people, and I want to emulate a model similar to this. This was so crucial. Angela Davis was arrested, civil rights activist. When she was arrested, she was the talk of the entire US and beyond. Everyone wanted to have an interview with Angela Davis. They wanted to hear her side of the story. And it was a really hectic time in America. We're talking about, they were so crazy about communism and all of this stuff. Angela Davis went to Muhammad Speaks, and she was like, I trust you guys with my story, and I want to be published on a story. And this was the most groundbreaking interview at the time that was entrusted to Muhammad Speaks because she knew the importance of delivering the message to the people. So she didn't go to New York Times, she didn't go to Time magazine, But when this interview was published, and she answered the iconic question to this day of like, are you a communist, right? When she was asked that. It was New York Times, Time Magazine, every single mainstream outlet were quoting Muhammad Speaks from this interview because she refused to give them any attention. So I want to create something like that for Muslims. @Muslim is for Muslims. And these are like 3 stories that I usually share with people about the impact and the influence of our work. We did a tell-all interview with photojournalist Motaz Aziza from Gaza. And we've been in contact with them way before October 7th. We're just mutuals and we're connected. There was a time in like late October where he didn't post for like 2-3 days and everyone online was like freaking out because everyone depended on Motaz for updates on Gaza on the grounds. So I sent him a message and I was like, Salam Motaz, I saw that you were not posting and because we have easy communication and access, I was like, is there anything I could do to help? And he was like, hey, I'm all good, I'm safe. I just don't have internet, they're bombing the cell towers. So then I asked him, I said, I see that online they're talking about eSIMs. I can get you an eSIM, do you want to try that out? He's like, yes, can you send me an eSIM? So I was able to send Motaz an eSIM because we had that access to him through like social media. And he was able to publish updates in Gaza when he was on the grounds in Gaza. And again, when it went low, we would fill it up and all of that. But then after when he got out of Gaza, he wasn't doing any interviews. He didn't do any photo shoots and any of that. But similar to Angela Davis, he was like, but I will give an interview to Muslim because I trust Muslim, because we built that relationship. Then we have stories like Nadia Koff, and I just want to share the story just because of the impact that we have as Muslims, right? Nadia Koff is supposed to be signed on as a Superior Court judge, but there's this Republican congresswoman that has been delaying the signatory to get her to be the Superior Court judge. And this woman, super Republican, super Trump supporter, like really crazy in New Jersey. So I was reached out by CARE, and they were like, Ameer, it's been months, and they're not signing off on her Superior Court judgment. And I was like, okay, look, they're like, what can we do? Can we get pressure? I was like, look, can you give me her phone number? And they're like, okay, sure. They gave me her phone number, and I was like, okay, something compelled me to film it, so I was like, oh my God, I had 2 minutes, okay, sorry. So I put the camera up and I filmed it, and I called their office. I was like, hey, is this Corrado? They're like, yes, it's Senator Corrado. I was like, hi, my name's Ameer. I received a lead on a story that you're delaying the appointment of Nadia Koff because for Muslim identity. So I would like to have a poll by the end of the day because we're opening up an investigation and it's getting published online. And they're like, whoa, like, where is this being published? I know it's called The Muslim. You can find us at Instagram.com/Muslim. They're like, okay, I didn't have the story ready, but I just wanted to add that touching. So, hang up. A minute later, they called, what's the page called again? It's called Muslim. I gave them the link. And within a few hours, they signed Nadia Koff's appointment. And I was able to publish this story that was Nadia Koff becomes first hijab-wearing judge to serve Superior Court judge in the United States. And that went viral. But no one knew the story before that. So I was like, well, it's something to get that to go viral. And I know I'm running out of time. I just want to share one last message if it's one thing that I want to leave with. This is just examples of our power. We're just so powerful, the Muslim community, and we just need to make sure that we can utilize that to serve our community and stay connected. But if there's one message I want you guys to leave out with is our ummah is a puzzle and you are the missing piece. And what I mean by that is, and I'm so sorry, I know I'm a graphic designer, but I looked this up accidentally. So what I mean by we're a puzzle piece is my piece is media. I know my role is to be the amplifier. I make Muslim news viral. I bring Muslim stories to mainstream. That is my role. That is my puzzle piece. people come to me so I can bring attention to stories that are affecting our community. Then you have another puzzle piece here. This puzzle piece is like humanitarian aid, organized missions, right? When the when the Super Bowl took place, was the same time that the Turkey and Syria earthquake also happened. Everyone was talking about Rihanna's baby bump, right? But we had important matters. There was an earthquake that took place in Turkey. So Muslim was focused on we're on the ground in Turkey, covering the updates in Turkey and Syria. And then this puzzle piece here, humanitarian orgs relied on that virality and attention, so they're able to fundraise on the ground. Everyone has a role to play, and you just have to figure out which piece that is and excel in it. All right, I'm over time, guys. Since you had the last question.